It's a great organization if you don't know about it. Ed's going to teach you a little bit about it, and then kind of going on with the program now that we're under the COVID-19 social distancing and trying to keep everyone healthy. Hi, Ed. What can you tell us about Meals on Wheels?
Well, we are trying to keep everybody safe. Our major push lately in our last board meeting was how are we going to continue to provide meals to our seniors and people with disabilities that can't get out and get food for themselves, but how can we do it safely? So we've changed kitchen practices, we've changed our delivery practices, but we are still maintaining contact with our clients.
Well, tell us a little bit about Meals on Wheels in general, and then kind of how it's had to change since this all started a couple weeks ago.
Okay, well, we're a 501(c), is that right?
Yep, 501(c)
charity. So to stay afloat, and hopefully we stay $1 in the black, and that means we can continue to deliver meals. We get food in from Cisco. We get bread in from the local grocery stores. We get non-perishables anywhere we can. And we rely on the generosity of Baldwinsville residents to keep us afloat. And so far, it's been very good. Baldwinsville people are very generous. I've heard this from actually other Meals on Wheels in the area. They say, boy, your community is really great. So yeah, they are great, and that's why we can be great.
Yeah. Well, I know right now there's additional food pantries that are kind of set up, or I shouldn't say pantries, there's food donation spots. But even prior to COVID-19, the donations that would come in for Meals on Wheels, like you said, the generosity was always there, right? How does somebody qualify for Meals on Wheels, or how do they get Meals on Wheels?
Well, our principal clientele consists of elderly people who cannot get out and get around very well by themselves. They have a hard time making their own meals, but they want to remain somewhat independent of their children, because parents should not be dependent on their kids, because kids are always dependent on their parents. So anyway, they have that need to feel still independent, but they can't get out, so we bring meals to them. And that's one group. But we also have a lot of younger people who, for various health reasons, or I don't know, we had a veteran who lost his legs, so he couldn't get out. Although he was really funny. He drove that little red cart all over the place. You might have seen him. So people with disabilities that have a hard time, there is no age requirement. It's just really people who need it.
And you take the meals to them, correct? That's why it's called Meals on Wheels?
We do. We actually have 2 part-time positions. Our coordinator, whom you will talk to if you call up for meals, she keeps everything running smoothly. She basically keeps the cook busy, and we have a lot of volunteers. So we have volunteers in the kitchen, actually bundling up the meals. Meals then go to our drivers, and our drivers are all volunteers. We have, I don't know, 35 or 40 drivers, plus another about 20 kitchen volunteers, because we don't try to work everybody every day. So one driver will make a delivery on one day of the week, and then another driver will take his route, and so forth throughout the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the same is true with the kitchen volunteers. So you don't have to, most of our volunteers are actually getting up in age, because A, they have the time, and B, they're not so old that they actually need the meals. So that's basically how it works.
Is it, if I remember correctly, because I did volunteer there once, It's a hot meal that gets delivered and then maybe a sandwich or something that could be eaten later. Is that typically the types of meals that's provided, or has that changed?
No, we provide a bag lunch, which has usually a sandwich of some sort and a fruit and a desserty kind of thing. And then there's a hot meal. It's in a plastic tray that can be reheated in a microwave, or actually, a lot of people that I deliver to would just simply eat that for lunch because I delivered, before noon, and then they'd have the bag lunch if they wanted some dinner.
Yeah, that's nice. And then with, obviously social distancing, we're supposed to keep our distance from everybody. But with Meals on Wheels, you are going to people's homes. So the meal starts in the kitchen. I'm sure you have precautions that you're taking, preparing the meals, correct, to go out the door?
Absolutely. We had this all pretty much in place before COVID-19 even hit New York. I tried to get an early, well, I guess you say, tried to be proactive. This is the word. But I wanted to have something in place, knowing that this was coming down the pike. So we've been preparing for this for quite a while. At the moment, our volunteers in the kitchen, they all wear hairnets, they wear gloves, we sanitize.
Yeah.
And the drivers are wearing gloves, they're supposed to be anyway, and using hand sanitizer. When they go to the house, now we always like to know that the person is okay because sometimes they aren't okay. So right now, the idea is to knock and drop. Knock on the door, hopefully have the response from them, and then we just set it right outside the door. Often there's a styrofoam or a cooler that we can put it in if they're not going to be there, if they're out or taking a nap or whatever. So we try to maintain basically distance. And there are people who cannot really outside to get the food. One of my clients was in a wheelchair. So for those people, we just knock the door, knock, open the door, set it right inside so that we get the meal into their home, but still maintain a safe distance.
Well, and social distancing is so important to flatten the curve, like everyone talks about, but so is food, and if this is the food that they're waiting for, you have to get it to them in a way that they can get it. Otherwise, if it's sitting outside and they're in a wheelchair and they can't get to it, it's not doing them any good. So
no, we try to tailor it to the individual client. As you say, there are some clients who are not going to be able to come outside, but they still need to eat.
yeah. Yep. Is there a specific food from the community that you're looking for? I know, like I said, there's some donation centers and they're trying to meet the needs of the community. They're helping with the backpack program at Rotary, and I know Meals on Wheels is another organization they're collecting for. Is there something in particular that the public should be bringing to those centers to help you guys?
Well, non-perishables is what we really need. It could be a box of macaroni. It could be a tin can of corned beef hash, or so cans and other non-perishable items. We like to provide those so that if we can't get there for whatever reason, they at least have some sort of stockpile that they can use to feed themselves.
Okay. And I think you mentioned earlier when we were talking too that that you're trying to give them some stuff maybe in the freezer or something that they can hold on to longer in case it gets to where you can't get to them as often. Is that true, or did I misunderstand?
No, we make up additional meals that we can then freeze, and we can send them out in the winter we'd call them blizzard packs. So if the school's closed because of blizzard, we want to make sure. So we always made sure that we gave out blizzard bags. So this is basically the same kind of idea, except now COVID-19 instead of a blizzard. But the idea is that if we can't get there for, I don't know, maybe a driver is sick, but usually if a driver is sick, well, prior to this, somebody else picks up picks up the slack.
Yeah, yeah.
But we like that they have some food around for all cases.
I didn't think about that with the blizzards, but you're right. Here in New York, a lot of times the snow is so bad that maybe you wouldn't be able to deliver or get them something because of storms coming. So you had those processes in place. Obviously, things just need to be tweaked a little bit because of this.
Right. Exactly. Excuse me.
So, well, I really appreciate you coming on. There's so much going on in the community, so much good stuff happening. We have like I said, the backpack program for the kids. We have the Meals on Wheels for the seniors and people with disability. Is there any other information that you want to share with the public, just to kind of get it out there, whether it's something you can need help with or something that we should know to kind of help you guys, or just be prepared for if something comes up?
Well, of course, money is always welcome.
That's true.
We have a perennial battle just to simply stay afloat, but we're doing it, just barely.
Where would the donations go? Is there a website or something?
Yes. If you go to, it's all one word, bvillemow.org or doesn't really matter. That will get you our website, which is a rudimentary website, but at least there's a donation page.
Okay.
And that's an easy.
And what
I do.
Well, I was just going to say, Ed, what I can do is put that website on the post that goes out with this video, so people can sit right on it and see where the donation site is.
Okay. It's bvillemow.org.
Okay.
But if you type into your search Baldwinsville Meals on Wheels, it'll get to the website. I'd like to mention our phone number here, because there are people out there.
Sorry, working from home.
Well, we had been serving about 85 clients, and recently we picked up an additional 35. So we're putting out a lot more meals than we were. But our phone number is 315-638-2171. If you are hungry, call up Donna.
Okay, and that's good information to know, because maybe if they weren't before in need of you, they might be now. There's got to be a lot of, especially senior citizens or people with disabilities, that just can't get out to the store like they were before, or it's not worth the risk to go out to the store.
That's the problem. We try to make sure that all our food is as risk-free as possible in that sense. But no, I'm not even, my daughter won't let me go to the store. So she said, "You're too old." Well, anyway, my kids are starting to take care of us, I believe.
Yeah. Well, and it goes back to what you said at the beginning of the video, that as parents, you want to be taking care of your kids, but sometimes there is that cycle back a little bit. I've talked to quite a few of my friends who joke that they've now grounded their parents from going out because
I hear a lot, actually.
So funny. So, all right, well, I will get the website on this video. I'll put the phone number on this video too, Ed, so that if people do need help, they can call, and if they can make a donation to the program. And that's just not during this COVID-19 period either. This is anytime, to keep you guys running and working.
We've been around. We will have been around for 50 years. I think this coming September. So we've held it together for that long. We'll get through this crisis too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Meals on Wheels is a great program, and I think if for some reason people thought that it was going to go away, it would be one of those drives that would just make sure that it's always here, because it's an important part of the community.
It is important. I thank you for your effort, so to speak.
Absolutely, and apparently my dog agrees, because he took off barking and tried to chase people down to make donations. That's what I'm doing.
Give him a little basket under his neck.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Ed, for being here. It's nice talking with you, and thanks for sharing the information. And hopefully the donations just keep coming in so you guys can keep doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Shelley.